What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 289. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Brett Murdoch.
What's up, people?
And Brian Manjoma.
Yo, yo, yo.
All right, man, you already know we're back with another Sunday special, And as usual with these Sunday specials, the questions episode, I don't have my everything ready. But I do want to fluff up something real quick. I want to give a shout out to Subgata, who won the contest.
Oh, yeah.
So, but of course, since he wanted it digital, I basically just bought him a $60 PlayStation card because, you can't buy the game digitally anymore from Amazon. I think it's Sony games exclusively are like that, which is kind of dumb,
I forgot what the deal was with them where they didn't want to do it anymore. But yeah. They don't want it. Don't want.
Yeah. By the way, I'm thinking about it now. Correct me if I'm wrong. At least for this iteration of Throwdown, I've never had anybody ask me for the physical copy.
Yeah.
Everybody always wants digital, which is interesting. Because it's the opposite of the poll we did on the Twitter, which asked, what are you going to get, the physical or digital version of the PlayStation? Everybody said physical.
We could also be. I don't know how much Subgate. Does Subgata also? I don't know if he also collects actual physical editions because also because of the time we're kind of in, maybe.
He lives sometimes in Japan, so I'm wondering if he has.
Well, he lives in Chicago right now,
Yeah, so it's like, okay,
Chatowns.
Maybe he doesn't want to fill up everything. If on the occasion he ends up going back to Japan.
Maybe, who knows? But yeah, most of our fans, actually, I'm going to say right, all the fans in the last recent years, all been digital version, which is fine by us. That means you get your game mad quick, And also, I did forget to mention, what he answered. The question was, what is your most anticipated game of this year? Which is also a question we got asked by a certain guy who likes European cars. Which we'll get to, and his answer, Subgata said Demon's Souls is the game he's most looking forward to. Is that confirmed for this year? The remake? I don't know about that.
I thought that was next year.
Yeah, I think that's next year, bro.
Next year.
But we'll allow it. You already won this contest, so we can't take back a digital game. You can't take back a digital game,
We'll take that shit back now.
Yeah. Yo, imagine if it was physical. Yo, can you ship that shit back to us? You answered wrong.
No. At that point in time, it's like, no, you can't even do that. Just
oh man. All right. Well, we'll forgive that right now, Mr. Gator.
Also, let us also thank who made this possible.
Oh, well, actually, no. That's next contest, my friend.
That's next contest. Oh, okay.
Yes. We're going to be giving... I'm just going to say now. We're going to be giving away Ghost of Tsushima, right? Actually, I did say that. We're going to be giving away Ghost of Tsushima, and it's actually sponsored by one of you guys, one of the fans. I think you guys already know who it is, by the way. He's always throws bits at us. That's the reason we keep having money to give you guys games. But he wants to specifically sponsor this giveaway. So shout out to him. And when we get closer to that day, when we have the contest, obviously we're going to shower this man with praise, just like he showers us with money. It's crazy. Thank you to the land down under. That's what I'm going to say about that. Another shrimp on the barbie.
Come from the land down under.
Oh, man.
Copyright infringement if I continue.
Anyway, man, we got some questions to answer tonight. Actually, I'm going to say this is kind of interesting. So we actually, speaking about bits, oh no, that's Barry. Subscribe to us again. Thank you, Mr. Burton, one of our moderators. What the hell was I saying again? Oh yeah, so we didn't actually get a lot of questions tonight, and I know the reason why. This is not a chastising anybody or anything. It's just a matter of fact. Every time a big game comes out, our numbers drop because motherfuckers are playing their game. So a certain game came out this weekend. And some of our fans already beat it. So I'm pretty sure they're too busy or are too busy playing it to submit questions. But it's okay. We have a lot of questions we didn't even get to before. So we got you guys covered who are listening and watching at the moment. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. First up, we got Johnny W. Uppercut. His question is, Is WB Games the last game developer owned by a movie studio? Interesting question, because I'm thinking about it. Like, is it? Because I know Lucas Arts or whatever, or Lucasfilm got rid of Lucas Arts. WB was making, they had, developers making games for them. Now that they sold that off, is there any movie studio that has an in-game development, like game development studio? I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Sony?
About that.
Besides Warner Brothers, yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Sony. So if you're being honest, Sony is more like a video game company that also makes movies.
Actually, no, they're a TV company that also makes video games and movies.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, but like,
So
maybe-
I don't know. I would count them. They're under the same umbrella. Like, it doesn't matter who came first. It's the closest you're gonna get. It's one company
Yeah.
that makes movies and video games.
Well, I don't know about it because they're all separate entities, like under a global umbrella, So,
Yeah.
it's Sony offers health insurance in Japan. Are they a health insurance company that makes
I mean,
movies? Like,
Do you think?
we
do you
can
think?
split hairs.
Hold on. Do you think the people who make games for Warner Brothers are actually the same people making the movies for Warner Brothers?
No, but that's my point. The same people who make video games for Sony have nothing to do with making Venom or Ghostbusters or anything else. Or,
Yeah, but
and-
he's using WB as an example. So
No, but
Just-
they Warner Brothers, that's all they do is make movies, right? They just happen to own they own a studio, but it's beholden to the parent company. The parent company of Sony Corporation. The point of incorporation is that it has multiple entities like under it. But what does main Sony Corporation do? They just have ownership over electronics, life
but you-
insurance,
hold on.
TVs, cameras.
do you think Warner Brothers is a standalone company? Because you know
Yes.
they're part of Time Warner.
Well, I mean that's
Well, they're actually AT&T now.
So
AT&T owns,
So it's the same
owns all of
thing.
it.
It's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, they didn't get there the same way, but they're essentially the same thing. It's the closest analog you're going to get because no, there are no other examples that I know of.
Yeah, well, I know Disney divested themselves from video games. They used to have studios, and they got rid of all of them. So they just license their shit out now.
Well, yeah, they want people to pay for their shit.
So they used to, but not anymore. I don't know anyone else I don't know Universal. Universal used to own Vivendi, but I don't think they do anymore.
Universal did have a game studio. That's where Crash Bandicoot came from.
Yeah, they don't have that no more.
They don't have that anymore. I think let's see, whoever bought all that stuff from them, yeah. Maybe it's Activision.
And Paramount, I don't remember Paramount ever having a game studio.
No, they just licensed.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. And if they sell that off, then there won't be any. If
Yeah,
Warner Brothers sells
exactly.
that off, it's gone.
And Warner Brothers.
well,
whatever-
yeah, because right now I think it's just still like it's just being talked, right? It's not like official yet.
I don't think it's official. They're trying to sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're trying
it
to
could
sell
be the
Warner
last
Brothers
one, man.
games?
Could be the last
Yeah.
one.
The Nether Realms, all of that stuff falls under
No.
WB Games. So.
But Warner Brothers is trying to sell that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing. That they're trying to sell the gaming division or WB Games specifically.
Even though it's funny because even though their freaking games are making crazy amounts of money, that last Mortal
Yes,
Kombat made
people
insane
have been
amounts of money.
commenting on that it's actually profitable, and they're trying to sell it anyway, because they're putting all their eggs in streaming and live content. I think it's a stupid move.
It's
personally, but
AT&T specifically that wants
I
to
feel
sell
like-
it.
it's that
Yeah,
wants
I
to
feel
sell
like
it.
I feel like a lot AT&T has been making a lot of screwy like mistakes with their stuff, and they're gonna end up paying for it if they don't if they don't get it right.
Yeah, because it is questionable. Like Mortal Kombat makes a shit ton of money for them.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, like,
The
and
Witcher.
then-
Look how much money The Witcher made just last year alone because of the damn show. You know,
Yeah,
like
and then-
the show sold a lot more copies of the game. You know.
Yeah, and then what about they were the publisher in that situation. I think they're being published by that CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, no, you're right about because Warner Brothers did publish it, but I think now their CD Projekt Red is just fully publishing it worldwide now. But even with that, let's take that out of the equation. Mortal Kombat alone makes a shit ton of money. You know.
And then the Batman games, they also make shitloads of money too. The
Well,
last
they
Batman game did really well.
yeah. I mean, that was a while ago, but we're talking about just in the recent years, Mortal Kombat. You know, making money.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's questionable why they're trying to sell it off. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Next question from Mr. Mob Hits, and his first question is. Will let me finish this one too, guys. You guys are gonna laugh halfway through. Will Nintendo release an all-digital Switch and perhaps an upgraded Switch on the level of the Xbox One S? I'm gonna put up the GIF of Bugs Bunny saying no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
no.
it's an over. They're not going to do that.
They're not doing that. Here's the thing. I mean, Chris will tell you more about this, but Nintendo doesn't care what others do. As a matter of fact, they discourage that kind of like, don't look over there. We're doing our thing and that's it. So they're not giving a fuck what the other guys are doing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. They don't like the premise of competitive research to them is like non-existent because in their minds they're not competing with those guys. So them doing digital delivery, them doing anything digital. Let me tell you, Nintendo, while they'll do certain things right, like their storytelling, their character games in the games themselves, when it comes to like software getting on board with network and digital innovation, they are always like 5 steps behind everyone else. Like all digital, like wait for the whatever's next, the next system. Like look how long it took them to get HD output in their systems, right? Like they're always behind on certain things, especially when it comes to network. Look at the Switch doesn't even have voice chat
Yeah.
native. So you think they're going to do all digital? Nah, that ain't happening.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, you think they're going to do an upgraded console? No, they're not. I really used to kind of think that in the beginning, but now with the Switch being so successful, they're not doing that shit.
The thing about the Switch Lite is a downgrade.
It's a downgrade,
Think about
you know? Yeah.
You know? And it's selling, so they don't need to do anything.
Yeah. Then you know, at least for almost the last 20 years now, Nintendo hasn't cared about being like on top when it comes to hardware. They don't care about that, you know? That is not a priority to them. Power and all that doesn't matter to them.
I mean, especially since they're proving that they can sell weak hardware to people, and nobody give a shit. Because what is it all about? We always say this on the show. It's the games.
Yeah.
Always the games.
Yeah, especially with Nintendo. That's all they got, really, the games, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. All right, so that's a simple one. No, it ain't happening. Nintendo does their own thing. They're not fucking following anybody, you know?
Blue Ocean.
Yeah, and there's not really a cost drop in them taking the drive out of the Switch. You know, to create another fab and go through all that stress to make an all digital version, it's not worth it.
Yeah, they're not doing that shit, you know? All right, let's move on. Next question. With PS5 having a lackluster launch lineup, do you guys think this is the opportunity for Xbox to pull ahead? Here's the thing. We don't know what the launch lineup of either console is. Not really. So we can't say, you know, the PS5 is lackluster.
They're both lackluster.
Here's the thing.
Right now.
Let's just be honest. They're probably both going to be, but we don't know exactly yet. So this question's a little off.
We only know like a small handful of games that are actually going to be. They're not even like they haven't even said if they're launch lineup.
Yeah, we don't know.
We only know that they're within the launch window. Like Miles Morales is in the window, but they don't tell you when it's coming.
Yeah, like Halo is the only game that we know is going to be a launch game.
Yeah,
literally it. You know,
and then a spattering of indie games.
Yeah. We don't really know the launch, so you can't say either console has a. I mean, probably they will be both lackluster, but you can't say one is better than the other because we don't know yet. We honestly don't know. Little too early to make that determination.
I mean, here's the thing: Xbox does have the chance to get people a little bit more excited, if and when their little show that shows all their exclusives comes out, and they actually say, okay, these are coming out when they can at least get a little bit of headway. But again, it depends on what is ready for that time frame.
Yeah, no, we don't know. I guess we'll see though. You know, during their showcase in I believe it's July, right? They're gonna hopefully tell us, hey, this is gonna be available on launch.
As
That,
opposed to
yeah.
saying window.
Yeah, right.
Launch window. Holiday. 2020.
Yes.
To answer the question, yes, this is Xbox's chance to make a statement and say, hey, we actually have games on launch rather than some time in the future when people get off their asses and actually make games. So yeah, this is a good chance for Xbox to actually make noise. Because again, I have a real issue with the fact that there's pretty much no launch games on the PS5. And it's this
No, you're
close
right.
to launch.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
That is concerning to anyone. Well, it should be concerning to everyone because it's like, if this was like last year, then fine. You should have a year left to tell us what's going on. But it's less than 6 months left to the end of the year. To the end of the year, not launch of the console. I mean the end of the year, and we still don't know any real games that will be there on launch day. That's really odd. At least Xbox has a reason. Like they've stated, like, hey, we'll have our event like in July. Cool, fine. Sony have had theirs, and they had nothing. And unless they've said that they have another event coming soon or coming eventually,
They
which I
kind
don't
of
know.
they
Yeah,
kind
they
of
said
said
they said there's going to be more events, but we'll see.
they said there's going to be more announcements in the coming months. That's what they said. But I'm like, at this point in time, at this point in time with and I know things have changed because with the PlayStation 4, we knew what was coming out the day of, at least quite a bit of the titles. Right now, it's just like they're playing like there's only we have almost a year in advance to go, right? But we don't. So. Yeah, as Adam would say, they gotta have something. They should
Gotta have something.
Actually, not they gotta have something. They should have something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be charging an assumedly $500 for a console, you gotta have something to say like, hey, you should buy this console because of this game, rather than just, hey, we have GTA 5 on it. It's like everything has GTA 5 on it these days. What's the difference? I don't know. It just seems like there's not a lot of anything going on, and it's really weird. Because usually by now we would know, okay, they have these 5 games, these 3 games, or something. But this is just like it's almost like they are not prepared for the launch of their own console. Again, maybe things will change over the next couple of months, but at this moment in time, it just seems like it's a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
I just hope we don't get a repeat of last gen, but probably will. All right, moving on to the next question by Mr. Damien. His question is,
Uh-oh.
no, this is actually not throwing any fire at us, so don't worry about it. All right, is Naughty Dog setting a bad precedent by limiting what reviewers can speak about in their reviews? Since they're limiting spoilers, wouldn't it be better to have the review embargo be 12 to 24 hours before launch? All right, for you guys who don't know, basically every review you've seen of The Last of Us, apparently, from what I understand, is only based on like the first 6 hours of the game, roughly where Carlos is right now. So, because Sony doesn't want to spoil anything. But here's my thing. I'm like, if you're a good reviewer, you wouldn't spoil anything to begin with. You could play the entire game and not spoil anything. I never spoil shit in mine. I'll play the whole game. I don't spoil a damn thing.
I think the thing is that some reviewers are garbage. Let's just be honest, and they will literally.
I agree.
They will literally write a full fucking synopsis of the whole goddamn story of the game, and then say like a sentence of how good the game was.
Oh man! So you're saying those idiots ruined it for everybody? I guess.
I'm sure they ruined it for everybody. It's like that's what I mean. I have with some of the things that I have created, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They'll just write these lousy ass reviews, synopsis the whole story, and then maybe a couple of sentences on how what they thought about the game, the thing that you created.
Yeah.
So I think
with video games is a little bit different though, because obviously you still got to talk about the actual game. By the way, Manny, I know you can't talk about it, but I can, right? He's talking about comic book reviews. If you read these comic book reviews, all they are is just literally a breakdown of the entire issue story, and then maybe they'll say, "Oh yeah, I had art." It's fucking they're retarded, you know. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen anything as egregious as that with gaming, but I could kind of see. I do want to clarify something though. He said, "Is Naughty Dog setting a bad precedent?" No, this has been going on forever. You know.
Yeah, that's it's always like it's pretty much happens for a lot of things. Because I mean, here's the thing: you got to realize you're beholden to them for for this content. It would be a different story if you somehow managed to get the copy of the game on your own, right? Like you didn't go through them, but they're serving you with the copy of this thing. So officially, what they say goes.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard about this. Then I'm taking it back with Metal Gear Solid 4. All those reviews you saw, they were all the first level, the It's not Afghanistan, but it's that level. You know, the Arab level. That's all. Every review was just based off of that. You know, so Naughty Dog is not the first. They're not setting a precedent. The precedent has already been set. You know, granted, most companies do not do this, generally speaking, but at least, you know, several times a year, you know, even when I'm doing a review, they'll be like, please do not talk about the first couple hours. I'm like, I wouldn't talk about that shit anyway, you know? So no worry for me, you know? It's interesting. So,
I also think I think maybe they also might be going a little more heavy on it because of maybe YouTube people too.
Yeah. People already posting gameplay walkthroughs days before the game came out. You know, motherfuckers don't care. And if you go on Twitter right now, everybody's posting pictures from late in the game. I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing, man? You know, it's the same thing as like, you know, why I couldn't go on Twitter on Sunday nights when Game of Thrones was on because motherfuckers was just spoiling the whole thing. You know. I don't get it.
Oh my
man.
god! I can't believe this person did this.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god. Or worst cases, I'm singling out The Walking Dead right now when the company itself spoils shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Or it's like, what was it, the Talking Dead stuff, and there were like all that gets thrown all over the internet. Too.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Basically, I'm not gonna say, you know, just in case, but basically a major character died. Right? Remember, the show airs in the East Coast first before it airs everywhere else in the country, right? So when it finished on the East Coast, AMC, the official with the blue check mark and everything, was like, what do you guys think about so-and-so dying? It's like, you just spoiled it for the rest of the country. It's fucking idiots, you know? It's crazy. All right, so...
but
go ahead, man.
Someone can still say the ending is trash.
They can say that. Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
They just can't say what the ending was.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, you shouldn't be doing that as a reviewer anyway. You know, you're not supposed to spoil shit. You know, you're supposed to give a rundown of what the game is. You know, I know me personally, I only dedicate one paragraph to the story, and that's just breaking down what sets it up and, you know, how it all ended, but not specifically how it ended, whether it was satisfying or not. That's it. You know, so every time I get those notes like, oh, don't talk about this, and that, I'm like, I wouldn't talk about that anyway. You know,
that's just them making it plainly obvious of what, you know, to people, okay, what they can and can't say. Because I mean, I'm sure some of those kind of weaker reviewers out there be like, bro, when blah 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 jumped into blah blah blah.
By the way, a pro tip for you reviewers out there: do not read those fucking things until after you've beaten the game, because those things contain spoilers. You know, like, don't talk about this. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't know that was gonna happen. You know?
Yeah. What was it, the paperwork that comes with it?
Because you always get a paper, or in this case with the email, you get like, don't talk about this, and that. You know.
So
yeah.
That's only within the embargo time frame, right? Like you can theoretically write your review the day after the game comes out, and you can spoil it, right?
Theoretically, but here's the thing about that, and I'm glad you asked that question, because they say even after the game comes out, please do not discuss these things. But that is not as mandatory as the embargo shit. Understand? Like, if you talk about it, nothing too bad is going to happen. You know.
Right.
I also think that, like, I think they also, it just from the plain fact that you received the game from them and reviewed it from them, I think you're also somewhat beholden to their to whatever the even though you didn't sign anything, you sort of are beholden to that stuff.
Yeah.
If
By the
you're
way,
starting-
yeah.
Hold on. I gotta say, I love how everyone's like, oh well, no, they probably wouldn't do this. And you can probably do that. Like, dude, we're talking about the company that just like struck down videos for talking about people, or for videos of people talking about people who've talked about a video. Like, they're not even doing it, not even relating to the spoilers or anything like that. Like, they went on a fucking DMCA fucking spree before this game came out. So no, I don't think that you can say whatever you want or spoil the end, and they'll probably be okay with it. But just
No, we're talking about in general.
Like,
We're not talking about Sony.
Yeah,
Right?
no.
We're talking about in general right now.
Well, I'm saying Sony will put the shutdown. Like, Naughty Dog will put the shutdown. Like, even now, if you came out and tried to talk about the end of the game, you get like. But if we talked about the end of the game right now, I have a good feeling that boom, we'd be cut off. Like, you're giving a lot of credit to a company to just kind of let well enough alone that it has not had a history.
Again, we're not talking about Naughty
below.
Dog specifically. We're talking about in general right now. We're not talking about we're not talking about Sony or Naughty Dog. We're just talking about generally speaking.
Again, it depends. It's not studio specific. Some studios treat these things are a little more lenient sometimes, and within the same studio you'll have Sony, not like you'll see like for a game they're not as sensitive about a game like Gravity Rush as they are as a game as Naughty Dog. Excuse me.
Like when I got Concrete Genie, they just said, don't release the review until this date, and that's all they said.
Yeah, so they're even more sensitive about the content that they even make. They weren't throwing copyright strikes on people who fucking spoiled on Concrete Genie. Because again, it all depends on the game. It all depends on all the stuff. So.
Yeah, there was a point I was trying to make, but I completely forgot it. Oh well. All right.
Concrete Genie is the greatest game ever. Right?
Yes, it was a decent game. What the? Oh yeah, that's what I got to throw this shade out real quick.
Oh, you shading?
Because you said you don't have to sign anything. Check this out. So yes, you're right. Most of the time when you're agreeing to the embargoes, it's a digital gentleman's handshake essentially, right? But there are a few occasions where you actually do have to sign something. The last time, and this annoyed the shit out of me. This is why the Persona thing annoyed me to no end. That's one of the few games I actually had to sign for. I had to print out the shit, sign it myself and scan it, all that, only for motherfuckers to get out there and spoil the shit anyway. I was talking to Gary Swaby. He also reviewed for the Coalition. We were talking about how funny it was that we have to keep our mouths shut while these fucking idiots are out there just saying the whole news like, oh, Persona 4 is coming to PC. I had to hold my tongue for a week, right? Because what happened is the game was supposed to come out Saturday the 13th, I believe, or the week before the 13th, but it got delayed because of the protests and all that other shit going on, right? So I had my review. My review was done. That shit was ready, And then literally 2 days before the fucking embargo was supposed to actually lift, news gets spoiled by an insider who got the game early, So I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Someone who got it who didn't sign for it. Either.
No, he did sign for it, and he just didn't give a fuck,
Oh well. I mean, that's up to him because Sega can literally drop some fucking.
Yeah, I hope they do, man. And it annoys me. I'm like, I'm over here beholding the fucking embargo, and this fucking idiot ruins it. That would be such a cool surprise. Oh shit, Persona 4 on PC, and the game's blowing up right now on PC. Obviously, people are happy about it. And then the funny thing is, then Steam blows up the joint too. The embargo was for 2:30 p.m. right? And the game, got released on Steam at 2. So Gary and I are there laughing. We're like, yo, the game's available now on Steam, and we still can't talk about this shit. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I have a peeve with these embargo breakers, man. It's like not only you ruin it for like other guys who are beholding to or honoring it, you're ruining shit for the fans.
Yeah. One thing. Especially if you have to sign for it. But to be honest, I don't understand why the game industry doesn't do that.
That
because
should be
for
standard.
Every single other industry, I've worked in film, I've worked in TV, I've worked in comics. every single thing before we even fucking put anything down. They already have us signing a non-disclosure agreement as soon from the get-go.
Yeah. The only times I sign for anything like all the time is when I go to gaming events. You know, that's the only time other I like. Oh, do you want a review copy? Sure. That's it. That's it. Do you agree to embargo? Yes. That is it. Like they should make everybody sign. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. As you can see with Persona 4, even signing it doesn't work. You know, because some motherfucker will still break that embargo. You know.
I mean, to be honest, Sega could go after the guy if they want to, because he did sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just can't do that and not think that you're gonna get hit with something. So we'll find out.
Yeah.
Or maybe Sega will just be like,
Well, that's the thing. Let's just be honest. This is Sega. They're probably gonna be like, what are you gonna do? You know, Sega's very lax about that sort of shit. You know?
But that's weird.
If this was Nintendo, though, oh man, you know.
It's funny they're lax about it, yet no, they go through the trouble of making you sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, it's weird. Carlos, what's up?
So, it kind of makes sense now. It's like I don't really mind companies saying not to talk about certain stuff in detail, at least, because when you're reading a review, you're reading someone's review of a game. You're not reading their dissertation on it. So it's, I think, because Damien asked about the president kind of stuff, and I'm like, a lot of companies do this kind of stuff for reviews anyways. It's not just Naughty Dog, and then other companies, it's like don't release your review until 12 hours before the game launches. That's another kind of thing. So yeah, I kind of don't mind it as much, probably, but I guess it just really depends on what kind of thing they're trying to, because I'm pretty sure Damien sees it something like sort of censorship. It's like, don't, like, if there's something to expose it, but it's like, I guess it just depends on what kind of things you tell someone not to talk about. If it's, if it says don't talk bad about my game, then that's one thing. But if it's like,
I've never seen that before.
I know.
Yeah, anything like that.
That's one extreme,
Yeah.
But saying, hey, don't give out details on what happens on the game, so they won't spoil it on people who read your reviews. I kind of understand that, to be honest.
Most of the big games, if you're a reviewer, they tell you don't talk about this, and that. They always do that. So Naughty Dog's not the first one. All right, moving on. Eurocar 9 is next, man.
Who that?
Who him? Who him? All right. What is your most anticipated game for the rest of 2020 that we've heard about so far? Simple question. Manny, that's the face I'm making too. I'm like, what else is coming out this year?
I guess Ghost of Tsushima, because it's the next game I'm buying, I guess.
Damn, guys, shit! Don't all answer at once.
Yo, Brian, you're not gonna say it, man.
Carlos just wants to see. Carlos, I knew that you were going to want me to say the answer, so I purposely not said anything because I knew you wanted me to say something. So yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, Carlos, because I want to give you that satisfaction.
What?
Oh, you're not gonna give me that. It's about Eurocar 9.
Yes, I know that you and him know each other, so yeah, I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of saying we got him that time. We got him. Like, no.
I'll answer.
All right, go ahead.
Mine, Cyberpunk 2077.
Excuse me?
No, it's not, Carlos. Stop lying.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
I even mentioned, we had a whole discussion, and this was long before the leaks, long before all the freaking drama going around this game. We talked about, what are you anticipating more, The Last of Us 2 or Cyberpunk 2077? And I said Cyberpunk 2077 because it looks like a brand new, fresh game, and like someone would say on this panel, CD Projekt Red has done them no foul. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. It's either that or Halo Infinite. But to be honest, Halo, you know,
Uh-oh.
it's had better days. So I'm cautiously optimistic about the game, but so especially since we haven't really seen anything, that we only saw that one E3 trailer. So yeah, so Cyberpunk is the one that has my attention right now.
That would be a microphone drop if it was a little more heavy. So that would be like maybe a microphone tip over.
It's,
It's not really a drop.
Yo, man, it fell from my hand.
yo man,
No, you just knocked it over while it was sitting on the table.
I try to give a layup to Brian, but he wouldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris.
You
go
all
ahead,
know my
Brian.
answer.
Yeah.
You all know my answer anyway, so
Says Cyberpunks. We already know. All
Yo,
right.
man.
But here's the question, though, Brian. Will you actually play it this year?
Oh no, he already answered that. Yep.
yeah, I got pre-ordered. I
Wow.
pre-ordered it like last year.
Hold on.
It's CD Projekt Red. I pre-ordered from GOG.
Damn.
GOG got the early free. Like, it's called putting your money where your mouth is, and I do that. I don't buy the games I don't like. I buy the games I do like.
All right, fair enough. All right.
So I got my answer.
What's your answer?
Oh no, like the answer I was expecting from Brian, or Eurocar was expecting from
Yes.
Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Master slipping.
That's what we call a Freudian slip.
You know. Or Romeroan slip in this case. All right. All right, Chris, go ahead, man.
Well, I was gonna fuck with everyone and say it was Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Whoa!
But
Excuse me?
then people remember how I feel about that. So, be honest, it's probably, I would say it's a toss up between Ghost of Tsushima and Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Interesting.
To quote Brian, really?
What I like, it's like a time capsule. It's like a '90s time capsule. I would just like to enjoy it and hear the music again and play that shit.
Man,
I second
I mean,
Chris's opinion for all the reasons he stated. Like, how
I
can
understand.
you not want to go back and play Tony Hawk?
Oh, shit.
I
Yo,
understand
man,
your guys'.
Dreamcast, son. Dreamcast.
I understand both of your guys' nostalgia kick, but I guess that speaks more to the quality of games that are releasing later this year.
Not nostalgia. You tell me a game that's better in the skating genre that has been released since then. Give me a better option.
You can play Skate.
Oh, man, skate.
Yo, Adam doesn't even want to play Skate, man.
Oh,
You don't wanna play that Skate no more.
Adam busted out of 2020. Everyone. Yeah, so I just find it interesting. Tony Hawk. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but as like when you think about it, it's like out of all the games that's coming out, Tony Hawk is your most anticipated. I guess that just speaks to how lackluster the end of the year is going to really be.
Oh no! And Ghost of Tsushima. I agree with his entire point. Like, Ghost of Tsushima is looking awesome, and I can't wait to play it. But I am also really stoked about Tony Hawk. I'm really excited for both of them for completely different reasons.
I mean, if you look at the rest of the list for this year, it's like, I'm not excited about Marvel's Avengers. That's like the other big game I think coming out this year.
Forgot about
That
that
game
shit.
Don't care.
That game is oddly. It's weird about that game, man. It's like they're oddly quiet about it. It's almost
I
like
have bad vibes. I have bad vibes.
It's almost like they're expecting it to bomb. Like, it's that weird about it.
I swear, if it's Marvel's Cuck Vengers, I don't want to play it. Fuck that shit. If it's Miss Marvel and the Avengers, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't think of anything else. Like, I would play like Halo Infinite, but I need to know more about it. I need to know more.
You don't need to know anything about it, Chris. Halo. You remember that video that I put a video in our Twitter chat? It was this guy playing like 3 different roles. A guy watching the PlayStation thing, and these 2 other guys just going on about Halo. He's like, yeah, but Halo.
Yo, Chris, did you ever take Halo 5 out of shrink wrap, man?
No, Richard totally put me off of it, man. I was
Damn.
like, I'll save that for later, and I never got back to it. Oh, you know
Was
what
that-
else might be
Is that
interesting
Spartan
this
Lock
year?
the game? That was Spartan
Yeah,
Lock the
it's
game. Right?
it's Halo Spartan Lock story.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Chris, what were you saying? What else? What?
I said the other thing that might be interesting this year. I don't even know if it's coming out this year. Is No More Heroes 3, and I don't know when it's coming out. It said 2020.
I don't know.
You are right. It did say that.
Yeah, Brett, you got anything else besides Ghost of Tsushima and Tony Hawk?
No, I mean, honestly, I've been thinking about this, and I've been like, man, I'm really excited for Ghost of Tsushima. But I was earlier in the show, like, Googling on my phone, like, when the fuck does Tony Hawk come out? Like, so, yeah, I would really like to say I'm excited for something that is, a launch game, but the fact that I'm most excited about an end of console game and a remaster instead of something that's coming out, I think does say at least something. Maybe it doesn't speak volumes. Maybe it speaks pamphlets.
It speaks pamphlets.
Speaks pamphlets. I like that.
one.
I get. Yeah, for me, Ghost of Tsushima is now one. I was very impressed by the thing we saw last time, and it's funny because the other game I'm also looking forward to is another big ass open world game, which is kind of ironic for me. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I want to play Viking, man. I want to play a Viking. So I'm some Norse shit. Give me that. For Miles Morales, I guess it'll be a nice side game. But main big games coming out this year, nothing's coming out. Let's just be real. All the big games already came out this year. Doom, fucking Last of Us, Final Fantasy, Streets of Rage 4.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's not a big game. That's an indie game.
No,
son.
it's a big game. It's a big game for me. It's a big game
Bombs
for
dropped
me.
earlier this year.
Yeah,
Years dry except for consoles.
Yeah.
Can I shock
Remember
everybody?
what we said, Manny. When it comes to nostalgia games, the indie games become triple A's to me. Greg, go ahead, man.
I'm actually a little excited for Godfall.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know about that game.
Of course you are, bro. You're the ultimate. You're the ultimate. What do you call it? You're the ultimate
Contrarian?
contrarian. Yeah, that's the word.
Okay, well,
I was
tell me
thinking
why
that,
you
but
guys
but I
I'm
don't- yeah.
genuinely curious, and maybe I'm doing an Anthem thing here, but like what is everybody so opposed to this game? Like, I realize that Destiny put people off of this game, but like everybody was so fucking excited for the Division. Everyone loved the Division so much, and this
Yeah, look
is
how that
basically-
turned out.
I
Look
didn't.
how
I
that
don't-
that's what
turned
I'm
out.
saying. Like, you want the product, nobody's delivering, and it's only through cynicism that I think that you're not excited. Like, even if like you run around fighting people like Devil May Cry style, and it's just you can zone out and kill shit. Like, and I agree, it's not for everybody. It's not a big narrative game, but there is a market for the people still fucking playing GTA, still playing Destiny for some reason. Still playing Division, like
Oh,
or
yeah.
the people who wanted those things to actually be a thing.
Yeah, no,
I
I
don't-
agree with you. I agree. I agree. There is a market. I'm just saying. I've been suckered 4 times already. I'm done.
No,
You know?
I
Okay,
will-
yeah, I'm
excuse me,
cautiously
excuse me.
optimistic.
Five. Okay, 2 Divisions, 2 Destinies, and fucking Anthem. Like, I'm done with this shit. This is stupid.
You know what? I saw this shit a mile away. No one listens to Manny.
Wait. I thought we were having fun with Division 2. I thought
We did, Chris, for the first month until they fucked it up.
they did, yeah.
They fucked it up.
Manny
Yeah.
knows.
Well,
You don't listen to Manny.
I understand Brett's excitement because it's like taking it's not really a looter. It's like a looter slasher.
It's a
So that
beat 'em
whole-
up. It's a beat 'em up looter.
So that I could see the appeal. Like, I was even curious about it once they actually showed what it was. Like, the first trailer, I'm like, what am I looking at? What is happening with this CG trailer? Then they showed it. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. I might be into that. I was gonna ask you guys, where's Adam? I want to
Yeah.
play more Division 2. No, we all dropped off.
Adam moved on. He
Adam's an
he's-
enigma.
Adam's mad that this Division game doesn't take place in New York.
Well, the
it does,
expansion.
though.
The expansion
Go back
does.
to New York.
That was his first complaint about the game. Remember?
Yeah. No, that's why he was hyped about the expansion because it went back to New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just the expansion. You don't stay there.
No.
Yeah, but Tony, what if I pitch this to you as Division meets Monster Hunter?
Take out the division part, then I'll be happier.
If you just said it's more Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
I think that would be more appealing.
Yeah.
When you-
more
I mean,
Monster Hunter.
essentially, it is like that's really what I want to do, and I've wondered. It's like as these, I enjoy shooters, but at the same time, like I enjoy beat 'em up games. Like, and I
All right,
okay,
wait.
finally, there's a game where I can do
Yeah.
this.
No, I'm glad. I'm
Wait,
glad
wait.
it's a game for you, man. I honestly
I
am.
might jump in there with Brett. I might do that.
Oh yeah.
Let me
Time
see
to
what's
punch.
coming out.
Time to
Yo,
punch.
I'm all about the slashing, man. It's
Well,
like jolly cooperation. I'm
Oh.
all for it. Let me see what's coming out.
to quote a great philosopher, you got to play something on that damn console.
Oh shit!
Nerd.
Watch them sucker me into that shit, man. Because I'm like, I got
Hey.
nothing else to play.
Oh, it'll
on this
happen.
shit. Yeah.
Yo, man, y'all, you the rope a dope, man. Y'all been dope.
No, not even a rope-a-dope. I'll
Elo
tell you
knows.
what's gonna happen. I'm telling you what's gonna happen right now, and I'll tell you, we'll convince you of being like, what else are you playing? Do you not want to play anything with your friends? Like, there's 4 games out, and there's one of them that's multiplayer. What do you want to do?
You know what else was a multiplayer at launch with only other games? Killzone Shadowfall.
Oh. Oh man, Manny, go ahead, man. I see
Yeah, I
trying
hope
to
you're
say
right,
something.
Brett. To be honest.
Nah, I mean, I already said which ones I was excited for, but
Yeah.
I mean, don't fall for the rope a dope. I'm just saying, it's gonna trap y'all again, and they're gonna fuck the game up, and you're all gonna be complaining about it again.
No, that's
Just
exactly
saying.
what's gonna happen. I'm already put it in the future, right? I'm over here talking shit about Godfall. I'm gonna get the game, and I'm gonna love it for like the first month, and then I'm gonna hate it completely afterwards. That's how all these fucking looter shooters or beat 'em up shooters in this case work. It's like they get
Well,
except
was
for Anthem.
GTA that way?
Anthem, no, that's not a looter shooter though.
Well, it's an open world, like it's
And it
kind
actually
of
had
the same
an
idea.
yeah, but the thing is, let's just be honest though. With GTA, the online open world stuff, that was an offshoot of the main thing. I got the main thing.
No,
at
I agree.
least,
I agree.
I didn't get that with fucking Destiny. I was expecting this crazy ass story. I'm like, this is Bungie, man. They're gonna deliver some shit. No, they didn't.
It was a badly made game. It's not even that it was like, oh, that the problem is the type of game it is. It's like, no, it was just a badly made money grab.
Ugh,
I mean,
man.
to be honest, the only part. I mean, I could have told you this from the demo what that game was. I mean, come on, the best part of that game obviously was the shooting.
Yeah.
But all the other shit, it didn't give you anything, and all
That's
the
funny.
and just
See,
became-
Manny, I listened to you with Destiny. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, Manny's right. I passed. I didn't get it.
it's the grind. I mean, then it just becomes about getting more and more stuff. And to be honest, I was like, I don't find that, at least for me, I don't find just the constant getting of stuff that only slightly marginally make things slightly better for you anything interesting.
Also, I was kind
And
of
that's a lot of games these days.
I was kind of pissed that the main bragging point from Activision was we spent $500 million on this game, and I'm just like, how how did you do that? Like,
That all
is
went
it
to
here?
That all went to Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, I was about to say that
Right?
too.
And then what did they do? They took him out of the game.
Yeah. By the
I-
way, people, Chris is not exaggerating. The game literally cost $500 million, $250 million of which was advertising.
I'm gonna say this. The thing about it, I think the thing that really happened with that game, and they even said it in there's an interview, they essentially just didn't know what they were gonna do with it. And my guess is that whoever, and they tossed out whatever storyline they originally
They
had.
did.
So
They
what
did. They actually did that like a couple months before the game was set. The ones they just chucked it,
Yeah,
put them
so
in
it's like-
grimoire cards instead.
Yeah.
But man, Destiny.
I knew the guy who wrote a lot of that, the flavor text and stuff for that game too.
Is that the same dude from Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
The
good
dude with the
dude, man.
beard.
Yeah.
He's actually an editor at he's actually an editor at Image right now.
Oh, nice.
He's editing Spawn, by the way. He's
Oh,
editing
shit.
Spawn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good dude, man. All right, let's move on. We are up to the next question from Mr. Eurocar. All right. Which launch game will help their
Good question.
yeah, which launch game will help their respective next-gen console more in terms of sales? Halo Infinite for the Xbox Series X / Lockhart, or Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5 and the digital version. Now, here's the thing. We're going to, but just for the sake of this one, we're going to just assume Spider-Man is a launch game. We know for a fact Halo is. So which one is going to help their console sell, or its console sell more?
It's gonna be. I think it probably might be Spider-Man.
I'm gonna say this is, and here's
I
the
was gonna say Halo.
okay. Well, Chris, I want to hear your thing. This is my thing. Let's just be real. even you Halo guys will admit this. Halo's long in the tooth now. It's not shiny and fresh anymore. It's not grabbing the kids, as they say. You know, Spider-Man, yeah, at least the Sony version, is still a hot property. You know,
Yeah.
but
And
by the way, I should add this. All this is subject to change with the prices of these consoles. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think Spider-Man will help Sony more than Halo will to Xbox. But Chris, what do you say?
Well, because Halo Infinite is a new story, and if it's Master Chief focused, which is what Halo fans really wanted,
If
and I believe it is, but I can't confirm that.
Yeah.
But if it is right, if it's a Master Chief focused game with a good story and stuff, I think it would be far more beneficial to Microsoft than. Let's be real. This is Miles Morales is a side story.
hold
It's
on,
not a full
I
game.
gotta stop you right there. You said something that's very interesting because that's a different question. Which game will be more beneficial? That's a different. That's a different question. Because if we're asking that question, then I'm gonna have to say Halo, right? But which one's gonna sell more or help it sell more? Or is that the same question? What you know what I'm trying to get at, Chris?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, I'm talking about financially beneficial. Like
okay,
that's the only beneficial I look at, like
gotcha.
monetarily.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's sales. Like I think it would probably be to Microsoft's benefit to do a Halo Infinite bundle right off the bat, right
mm.
at launch, which to me that would be smart, right? Uncle Phil, if you're listening, that's the ticket right there. You do the Infinite bundle right off the bat with the Series
Yeah. You
S.
want to talk about setting precedents because consoles don't do that at launch. They don't have bundles at launch. That would
Yeah,
be setting a good precedent. Yeah.
yeah. I think that would push it. And it's not Spider-Man is hot, like there's no question about that, but there's plenty of people who played the games already. I mean, I played all of them. I platinum Spider-Man and whatever, so it's like, do I need a new story? That's not really selling me on PS5. I'm getting it for other reasons.
Yeah.
It's not for that. Whereas I'm more, and me, my Xbox One turns itself on because it's lonely. I don't turn it on. and and uh, uh, and I'm even like, man, I kind of want to play Halo Infinite. I skip 5, but if it's like you're gonna give me Master Chief's story and it's gonna have some closure, it's gonna be enticing. I need to see it. If you sell me on that, like, yeah, maybe I'll put that black monolith in my house. It's
You
up,
know,
that's up to them.
you're gonna have fucking chimpanzees kneeling at it and shit, hitting it with
Hitting
bones.
it with bones.
You know. By the way, I'm trying to be like objective, but my answer, my personal answer is neither of these games. I'm gonna buy a PS5 just for Miles Morales. Get the fuck out of here. You know.
Yeah, personally, the Miles Morales. As much as I like the Spider-Man games, it's not that one title is not enough for me to personally pick up a game. But as the rest of the zeitgeist goes, I think that
Yeah.
might sell people on it, despite it not being a full like a full on Spider-Man
Yeah.
experience.
The PlayStation pony guys, they kind of act like Nintendo fans when it comes to Spider-Man now. You know, it's hilarious.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's impressive that they have a title, out for launch, but at the same time, it's not going to be the length of the original Spider-Man game. I mean, the best example would probably it's about as long as Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stay tuned.
Look out! Quick, get it back up! Hurry! Are we all clear? Oh, okay, we're all clear. Great. All right, hit the red button. No, not that button!
And now, Freakazoid.
Carlos, let me know when we're back on.
Okay. I think we're back on.
Yeah, are we back? Are we live, bruh? Are we live?
All right, we're live.
All right, sorry about that, people. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. OBS decided, wow, I'm gonna stop running during the middle of a conversation. And we were talking about the price of Miles Morales. Manny thinks that they're gonna pull. They may charge $60 for it, even though it's not a full experience.
Yeah, I have I mean, I don't want it to be, but I have a sneaking feeling that they might pull some sneaky shit like that.
Hopefully they won't, but we'll see. Because and Chris was saying, before we got cut off, that would be bad, business wise. So Chris, if you could repeat that, go ahead.
Yeah, no. The thing is, you don't want the bad press. People are gonna realize once they play this game, if they play it and it's like 10 hours or less to get through the story, and you charge $60 for it, people are gonna flip out online. I don't care what Sony says or how they justify it. It's you don't want to piss people off, especially coming out of the gate with PS5, and you start charging $60 for a side game. That's no good, man.
Yeah, no, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know we had a discussion about whether Miles Morales is going to be a PS4/PS5 game or just a PS5 game. It just makes it makes too much sense to make this a PS5 only.
You think so? Limit the sales of it.
I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna lock it down.
After, because these, I mean, we had this discussion kind of soon after the press conference, and then I kept thinking, it's like this press conference didn't have anything else, like for the launch at least. Like what Godfall is coming out, but that's third party sort of exclusive kind of game, and I'm like, what else is the PS5 gonna boast about when it launches? I'm like, it
That's
just
a
makes too much.
sad thing if one of your main games, if not your main game, is a little side game.
Yeah,
I mean, it's at this point in time, it is the only legitimate thing that they have besides that bots game that the thing is being shipped with inside of it.
Yeah.
That's it. Right now.
Brett's hyped for that.
Yeah, you totally want to play. What is it? Something bot playroom bots. Which I mean, it's nice that it's on there, but at the same time, it's like even less than we got for PS4.
Yeah, it's gonna be the best selling game on PS5, man. Just because it comes with it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'll be interested because I'm like, that's gonna limit Spider-Man sales because remember they're gonna have a shortage of PlayStation 5 supposedly.
It's gonna limit Spider-Man sales, but did they even spend the amount of money that they did for?
That's also true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't spend nearly as much on that game as they did of a Killzone Shadowfall.
So you're basically saying they can, essentially, quote unquote, limit the sales because they didn't spend a lot of money to make it in the first place. That's a great point. I didn't think about that, to be honest.
Yeah, they didn't.
They could risk it,
Yeah, they didn't put the whole. I mean, obviously they didn't put the whole team on the damn thing. So all they're doing was just some tweaks and some little story things, and then there you go. So I mean,
you're making me want to reevaluate my stance on whether this is going to be available on PS4 now. I didn't think about that part.
Yo, man, I don't get any credit for this.
Yeah, you get some.
I appreciate it.
But I mostly got it from Manny, so I'm going to give most of the credit to him. See, Manny's the guy who convinces me the most.
Well, I'm going to say this. I've been saying this from the beginning. That game is not it's even though they haven't officially said, I don't think they're going to put that on PS4. I think they're going to lock that thing down, and they're going to make that one of the things that you should buy a PlayStation 5.
Yeah. It'll probably be a very well-selling game anyway, just because of the fact there's not going to be a lot on the system to begin with,
Yeah. So so the win situation, the one win situation they have on this is like, okay, they have a new Spider-Man game in a short amount of time. Granted, it's a smaller title. 2, it's one of the only titles that it's one of the only bigger titles that you have for the damn thing. And it's not Knack.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not Knack. Yeah. Although, let's just be honest. Knack sold very well.
Knack sold crazy good.
I was just about to say, like, this game is the system's version of Knack. In that sense.
I mean, Knack, it's funny because Knack is also also a smaller title.
It is, yeah.
Like it's not nearly as long as a modern AAA game.
Yeah. It's longer than you would expect it to be honest. But yeah, it's definitely a smaller type of game. But it still is about 10, 12 hours. I'm like, yo, this is kind of long for this type of game. Kind of interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, just sort of echoing what Manny said. It's like we talked about how it's kind of we're all kind of anticipating it, but it is kind of like a throwaway game.
Yeah.
So they don't have anything to lose. So it's like like you were mentioning, yeah, but they're gonna they could sell this game on $100 million system, and it's like, well, they can promote the new PS5 with the new PlayStation with a new Spider-Man game, and that kind of press at the end of the day sounds much better. It does much better for the PS5 optics than not having that, because we know that other than that, there's slim pickings.
I think that's what they're depending on here. I think they're depending more on optics than on actual full-on stuff.
Yeah, the experience.
It's like, yeah, like in other words, like what you know, Joe Blow is probably just going to hear, oh shit, there's another Spider-Man game on the console, you know, on the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that the new Spider-Man game is actually slightly is not a full-on. It's probably going to be a 6-hour to 10-hour experience.
Yo, they got a new Spider-Man on that bitch.
Oh man, they got a new Spider-Man. I'm get that right away.
Get that right now, man.
You even saw it online, like, you know, at least, well, you know, again, Twitter's not a good gauge, but 90% of the people that I'm watching are all like, "Well, new Spider-Man guys!"
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it was the same on
Same
my
here.
end. They're fucking going nuts, you know.
Yeah. What did the Reddit forum say, Brett?
I don't know. I haven't been reading Red lately.
Uh-oh.
It's been nice.
Yeah. All right, man, let's move on. Where the fuck are we? Next question is... Oh, this one is from some guy called Bort. I also heard he goes by the name of Effital.
Oh,
Sounds like
That sounds weird.
Yeah, he sounds like a weird guy, but he's probably a good guy on the inside. His question is a very simple one. Does the game have to be fun?
The age-old question: does a game have to be fun?
Now, hold on. Now, Brett, if you had psychic powers and could gleam into the mind of this Mr. Bort, what do you think he's trying to ask? What's the context of this question?
I talked to him.
Got his number.
He was, yeah, man. We cool. Basically, he seemed to want to know, not necessarily fun, but does a game have to be enjoyable? Do you have to have enjoyed your experience with it, or can it be like an art house film where it's trying to tell something, but it may be an uncomfortable or unpleasant experience? Like what art form does gaming take? Do you have to enjoy the thing that you just partook in for it to be successful?
I'm gonna go with no, but with an asterisk, in the sense that it needs to be entertaining to some degree. So yes, that does mean that it's fully subjective in that aspect, but yeah, it needs to be entertaining to some degree. I mean, that's the whole point, right? It's entertainment. So if entertainment fails to entertain, then by its own definition, it has failed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, again, the movie doesn't actually need to be fun in order for you to have enjoyment in it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like Walking Dead at the beginning wasn't fun. I wouldn't classify Game of Thrones as fun, but they were entertaining and they were satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because, like, me, I take fun very literally, right? Like, when people go, hey, are you having fun with the game? I'm thinking, like, okay, am I laughing? Am I smiling?
Stay entertained.
Fun. Yeah.
Do you have to be entertained?
Yes, because, like Brian said, entertainment is to entertain you. Granted, maybe you'll be feeling comfortable, like, for example, and I know I shouldn't be comparing movies to games, but I'm going to do it in this case. Schindler's List, right? Great, point there. That movie is not fun at all. Not a fun movie,
Nope.
but it's very engaging. Very,
really well made.
Yeah, but even entertaining, because even entertainment, but for the sake of argument, yes, it's an entertaining movie, but it ain't fun, So in that context, no, a game doesn't need to be fun. It needs to be entertaining, just like any entertainment should be entertaining, So I agree with Ryan on that one,
The thing that brought this up was a conversation between he and I. That basically centered around the new Last of Us, and how it has a lot of really endearing and interesting ideas behind it. But for the most part, I was being told it's not a great game for me because it's not necessarily an enjoyable thing. It's kind of a dark sludge to tell a story that you may or may not find engaging, and that kind of got me thinking like that sounds like Senua. I enjoyed.
Yeah, that
It
ain't a
was
fun game either.
cathartic,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a fun game. But I was compelled to keep going. I was entertained. It provoked something in me. But then there are games that almost feel like this to me, where people are like, hey, this seems like a game everybody should play. To which I'm kind of like, if it doesn't entertain, again, it does. I don't see the point. And then there's some movies that you should see just because you should see, just because you need to glean information from them, or you should experience this through the eyes of a certain character, or things like that, because they're socially valuable. But I don't know that games fall into that category. I don't know that there's any required reading of video games.
I do think so.
I think there's some games that people should play. It's like you're gonna be a serious gamer, you got to play some of these games. But I know I sound like a snob or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean when I say like required reading. Like
in
school, they give you the required reading because they think it develops you wholly as a person.
I think
it's not necessarily entertaining. It's not necessarily fun. It's just a thing that you should read and understand because it's how people felt at a certain point. Do you think games should be that way?
I think this other guy that asked us questions called Romudeth may have something to ask about this in the future. He's put an idea into somebody's head right now. I think
that's what we call Inception.
Yeah, I think there are some must-play games, or they should be. There are some games that like, yo, you really gonna be a gamer, really, but like, or at least a gamer that's like historically minded. There's some games out there you should probably play. But for The Last of Us specifically, I will say, for those listening, I did beat the game, but don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I was entertained. Especially the gameplay itself, right? You say what you will about the story. That's the only kind of. I didn't hate the story. Here's my thing, just real quick about the story, and I told Brett this, and I think Bork may have heard this too. I've watched so many seasons of The Walking Dead that I am now desensitized to these type of stories, right? But the actual gameplay itself, exploring the world, shooting zombies in the face, hitting dudes with arrows and shit, burn them up. That's actually fun. I actually do laugh during that. Killing fucking dogs and shit, like all that shit's entertaining, But the actual story, the narrative is like, yeah, this shit is not, it's entertaining, but it ain't fun. You ain't gonna put a smile on your face, But the actual gameplay will, So I got to take a step back. So yeah, maybe games do occupy a different space in the entertainment field because they actually do need to be entertaining. Like you're right, there are some movies or TV shows or whatever you should watch just to, like you said, get some information. You're not playing games to get information, generally speaking. You're playing them shits to be entertained. You want to kill a couple hours.
There's also that too, where it's like, if a game, but I mean, for games, there's actually some aspect of it that is actually, and it's probably has to do with the interaction side of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, I should say there are educational games. I know that already. I'm just saying for the mass audiences. We ain't talking about Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail here.
Yeah, but it's like like the function, like you can have. But here's the thing, like, can you have? You can actually have fun with a god awful sort of game, but as long as the controls or the control part is fine, right?
But would that make it god awful then? If its controls fine?
But what if the story's horrible?
Yeah, but again, what if
take a game like Mass Effect, which even the mere mention of the last Mass Effect game causes people to go.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but the actual control of the game, the part, there are parts of that game that are very good.
Yeah,
even some of the boss battles were good. So it's like, yeah.
And you also have to remember there are some gamers out there that don't give a shit about the story, right? So they could actually play Mass Effect and be like, I don't care, I like the game,
Yeah, it was whatever. It's like whatever was there. Like for me on like that Mass Effect game, I don't hate it as much as everybody else does.
Yeah,
I was fine with what I up to that because the way I sort of looked at it. The lead up to whatever happens what happens at the end, I really enjoyed all that. It was just that last like maybe 10% of the game that just kind of went, ugh.
Yeah. Chris, what's your take, man?
On games needing to be fun.
Yeah, or entertaining. Oh yeah, fun or whatever. Yeah.
Or yeah, I mean, I think they need to be entertaining or, like you said, engaging. I think I don't know. There's this kind of I get from some games that they have this kind of art house sensibility or this fine art sensibility where it's like, as long as I'm evoking emotion. Nah, that doesn't work, man. Because you're trying to sell a product. You make people hate your shit, and you think that's a good thing. Oh, that's not a good thing. So yeah, you better be making something that's engaging for people and at least keeps them, you know, engaged in the story. You know, whether it's fun or it's like, oh shit, this is so horrible, or but it makes me feel a certain type of way. I'm going to keep playing. It's like, it's something. But I personally, of course, I like fun games, enjoyable. But then I like you, I found Doom fun. Somebody might not
Yes.
find that so much fun. They're like, oh my god, oh this horror. But I find it fun. I also find Bloodborne fun, and somebody might be like, this is some scary shit. I don't know if I
Hell
want
no,
to play.
screw that shit.
See.
That first thing kept killing me, man.
So yeah, I mean that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Now we're gonna get. Those are all the questions we had for this week, but now we're gonna get into the leftover questions. I think, like I said, there's a bunch of them, so we're gonna have fun here. We're gonna be entertained too. All right.
Are you not entertained?
All right. First up is from Mr. Reaction Gift King. Where do you guys see Nintendo going with their hardware for their next iteration, whatever that may be? What would you guys like to see? Those are two different questions, my friend. What do we expect them to do, and what do we want them to do? Those are two different questions, But let's start with the first one. Where do we expect them to go with their next system? Chris,
Handhelds.
Handheld. Yeah, I think they're going to stick away. Handhelds that you can plug into your TV.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
You're just gonna have a beefier Switch.
Yeah. Beefier Switch. Yeah.
More powerful processor, more RAM, more storage. But the same type of thing. This formula worked. They'll do it again. They'll absolutely do it again. I don't see them going back to making a full set top console. This worked out for them. They'll keep doing it till it doesn't work.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. And the next system. Yeah.
Either that or they'll sabotage themselves with something, and then they'll just try something slightly different.
I'm going to guess the next Nintendo system is going to be as powerful as PS4, but granted, that's going to be like 2023, so it'll be as powerful as a 10-year-old system,
It's funny. They always say the Japanese console that they're as powerful as. They'll never say the Xbox.
Well, they'll never say the PlayStation either,
Well, I mean, they sort of gave that idea. Like what was it on the? Was it the? They said the Wii U was it was said. I don't think they directly
Nintendo
said
didn't never said that.
That was a fan said it.
That was the fan said it. Yeah, Nintendo's never going to acknowledge the existence of another game company.
Game consoles other than us exist.
Yeah. Brett, what were you saying?
The people want to think that Nintendo continuously reinvents the wheel, and they kind of do with their consoles. But again, this isn't just a console, and I've said this from the beginning. This is more of a handheld, which they've always been successful in. They've always been steady in. They haven't taken a lot of experiments with that, and it's been pretty even keeled. And they have a lock on the handheld market so much that the other big companies have had difficulty breaking in. And this wasn't even their primary, system. Although, according to some of the reports Chris was reading, it definitely made them the most money, and they knew that. So one of the reasons why we don't have a Vita 3 is because Nintendo is just dominating this market. They're going to keep going with what works. And I know that, again, everybody thinks like, oh, they got to do something zany for their next console because they do that all the time. But if you look, they're very predictable and kind of conservative with their handhelds.
The Wii. I mean, here's the thing. The Switch is not fucking rocket science. It's literally what everybody thought the fucking Wii U was.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
Yeah.
literally the thing. They're like, it's like they show the thing, like, oh shit, they're making it's a handheld. That's
Yeah, it's
the
like a
Wii U.
tablet system. Yeah.
It's a tablet system. And they're like, no. There's a box. No, now they just literally took that same thing and they went, oh, what if we got rid of the box?
See, Brett, remember how you were
I pretended it was their idea.
when the Switch came out, you were excited. And you were saying all the things you could do. It's like, oh, it's so portable. You could take it. I remember people right after that E3 when they showed it. I saw the comments. They were saying the same fucking thing, and I'm like, oh, this is bad, because they thought the Wii U controller was that.
Yeah,
Was the Switch like, oh, I could take it with me on the bus. I could take, it's like,
Yeah.
whoops, oh.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Back in the Cool Stuff the blog day, that's the first thing we were literally sitting there and we're all like watching this thing, and they were going like, and I think you were still working there at the time.
Yeah, I was working. I was
And
there.
I'm like, literally, we're the best. Me and Tony are talking about it, and then while we're watching it, and then I'm like, we're texting Chris, and we're like, dude, where's the fucking console?
Yeah. But the funny thing is, right after that, the journalists were like, so that's the system? Like,
Yeah.
they didn't even conceive that there's an actual console that went with it. We knew it. We knew there was a console, but they were like, oh, that's the whole thing. It's just a big handheld.
Yeah, and I was telling you guys, like, no, there's a box. You just decided not to show it.
Yeah. Hilarious. So, yeah, you're right. So the Switch is what everybody thought the Wii U was supposed to be.
That's exactly what everybody thought the Wii U was.
So then you could say that in a roundabout way, Nintendo managed to listen to the audience.
Yes, they did.
It's
They didn't think
interesting.
about they didn't think about their confusing marketing.
Well, that's why.
If by listen you mean completely ignore and then bring up the idea as if it were their own,
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
they lost a generation doing that. But and Tony's argued about this before. This fanboys give it a mulligan for that
Yes.
generation. The
Mhm.
Switch is included in the Wii U generation. I'm like, that's bullshit. No, the Wii U failed. That generation is done. Switch is is a generation ahead of it. But they actually, if you go to Wikipedia, it's in the same generation as Wii U, and
Makes
that's
no
bullshit.
sense. Yeah, it's bullshit. You can't have two consoles in the same generation from the same company. Get the fuck out of here. That's dumb. That's like saying the PS4 Pro is a new generation. It's insane. All right, man. Yeah, moving on. Next up, we have Mob Hits. This one's a little bit more of a joke question. Which next gen console has the potential of having that super special sauce? I don't know.
I think those days are over.
I think
The
that's
secret
done.
sauce.
Yeah.
Super secret sauce.
Yeah, I think the secret sauce days are over,
Yeah.
bro.
I think all the specs are out in the open. There is no like tapping into some extra fast ROM or some bullshit on the. There's none of that.
Oh, the SD RAM.
The
The
SSDs of the PS5.
the ES RAM.
ES
of
RAM.
Xbox. Yeah, you remember that shit? Yeah.
Mhm.
There's none there's none of that now. It's like it's all out there, and it's up to developers. It's gonna take years to fully exploit it all, but it's there. It's all out in the open. There's no secret sauce. There's nothing that Microsoft or Sony are gonna turn on. Like NOS in the system.
Yeah, you flip a switch on it and it taps into the power of a black hole, and it just feeds off a dark energy or whatever.
No. You just get a Kai to unlock its latent potential.
Yeah, that's yes. Oh.
I think
man.
the one thing though,
some Rock Lee shit open up the gates.
I think the one thing though that like you remember like this goes to the the Nintendo DS and the what was it, the PlayStation Portable, when they were locked down to a specific speed, and then eventually, at least with the PlayStation Portable, they did actually run the systems at a higher whatever frequency or whatever, allowing the games to look a little bit better. But I think that's more of a thing for the Xbox locking it down rather than the PlayStation. because PlayStation has that funky controller that allows it to vary the amount of power it uses.
Yeah, I think that's for heat. That's
Hmm.
for temperature. You know.
Because
So-
I know why they remember when they locked down the PlayStation Vita, because they were afraid it would overheat, right? Oh, not the Vita, excuse me, the portable. And then later on, they unlocked whatever it was, and then started running it higher.
I mean, that could still happen later on with this. I mean, there could be a PS5 Pro and a system refresh, right? There
Yeah.
could be system refreshes in the middle, and they could increase the clock frequency or make the RAM faster. Well,
Yeah.
anytime you do that kind of stuff, you have to worry about how you affect the games
Mm,
working on it, because if they're running a certain way, and especially with backwards compatibility and all that stuff, like
yeah.
how does that affect older stuff, and will one game run too fast, and then you need to go talk to the dev if it's third party and go, hey, here's a library to fix that. We
Mhm.
overclock the system and it's going to run funky. Yeah, you worry about that stuff. It's not, on PC you could just be like, yeah, let me just turn up the voltage or whatever, and let's run this shit faster and not worry too much. On consoles, a little bit trickier. But in terms, that's not really secret sauce. If you overclock the
No, it's
system,
not.
it's just running faster.
Secret sauce, but yeah, no, there's no secret sauce.
I guess the closest thing to quote unquote the secret sauce is the PS5's memory bandwidth architecture or whatever the hell that whole thing is called.
Yeah.
Where it's everyone's
Oh,
talking about.
Are they going to say unleash the Kraken? Is that?
Yo, man. Yeah, it's because it's like people are like they're talking about no load times and all that stuff. People want to parade the power of the Xbox with its 12 teraflops, but
It's funny. Even didn't somebody from Sony already do a walk back on that with the Spider-Man game, and they literally said next to no loading times.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah, it was like a direct feature with somebody, and they literally said with next to no loading times.
yeah,
No loading times.
Oh,
think-
get Mark
For how
Cerny out
long?
here.
yeah, I think that's. I mean, because even if the load time is a second, that's
Mhm.
pretty much a loading time. So I guess maybe they want to cover their asses that way.
Yeah, but they shouldn't.
But
They shouldn't have really said stuff like, "Oh, no loading times."
But
But
you know they're
even
going to
then-
start getting loading times as games get more bloated and they start trying to render more environment all at once.
yeah.
Who actually believed that they would have no loading times? Like
That is,
That's bullshit.
that is-
No one believe.
that
I
is
mean,
a black processing
nobody on
bull-
this panel believe that. No fucking way.
No way.
Get out of here. You're still gonna have
that's
characters
like-
crawling through walls and shit next
I'm
gen.
going to say this: we have enough trouble nowadays getting a game to run at 1080p, 60 frames per second, even fucking now.
Yes.
Fancy new Last of Us game is not running at it can only barely run slightly over 1080p at 30 frames per second,
Yeah, 30 frames exactly.
and that's on the Pro.
That's right.
bro.
Excuse
On
me.
my Pro. Hey, but Doom runs at 60.
Yeah, it does. All right, let's move on. Damien once again. All right.
Oh,
Now, don't worry. There's another non-controversial question.
This is old Damien.
Yeah, these are old questions here. All right. Did any of you guys play the first ActRaiser from Enix on the SNES?
Oh,
Yes.
long
Yes.
time ago.
Very long ago.
Yes. And the follow-up. Well, here's the main question. Should that game get a remake?
I don't know. Maybe not a remake. Well, actually, no.
You mean make a new game like ActRaiser,
No, he
but
said
like modernize
remade.
it?
Yeah, he said remake.
Oh, remake. I don't know about that.
I
you
mean,
can do like a spiritual successor.
Make a new one, man. How about that? Make a new
Yeah.
ActRaiser.
Make it look like Bloodstained.
Yeah.
Well, ActRaiser was pretty cool because it had like all the play styles.
Yeah,
It was like
it was a town builder.
yeah,
Yeah, it
did
had
a
all.
lot of
Yeah, it
things.
had that stuff. I only liked when you just went into the field like, all right, I'm gonna kick some ass now.
Yeah.
Slice people up.
You're like, all right, time to punch.
It's like, it's fun and all. Time to punch.
But yeah, it'll be cool. Bring back ActRaiser. You know.
Do it.
Don't let
Do it.
Peter Molyneux work on it.
Uh-oh.
Eh,
I've come to work on ActRaiser again.
Yeah,
No, he
Barry
never
Burns
worked-
says they made
Again?
ActRaiser.
It's
Yeah,
like
they
I
made
actually made the
I
first
never
one.
played. I never played ActRaiser 2 though.
I heard
Oh,
ActRaiser 2 is
yeah.
kind of lousy.
Uh-oh, maybe that's why
I didn't
nobody
even know
talks
they
about
made a
it.
second one.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they
I know. I knew that. I just never played it.
Yeah, it didn't capture it.
C. Iverson says, "Bring back Time Splitters, man." Everybody keeps saying that.
Oh shit.
I mean, that involves bringing back the team that did it, because those are all former Rare guys. Who knows where the fuck those guys went?
Yeah, right.
That you got close long.
Maybe they went over to Team 17 or whatever. Whoever made Yooka-Laylee, those guys.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I mean, they said a lot of the original Banjo / Donkey Kong team were on that game. So,
Some of those guys are making, avatars for Xbox.
are they still making avatars?
That's my running joke, and I'm staying with it. Damn it.
I mean, at least in the 360 days, that's a lot. But
That's what Rare was doing in the 360 days, man.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why those motherfuckers left. They were
Yeah.
like, "Fuck this shit. What are we doing here? We ain't doing shit."
Oh man. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have another interesting person that we may or may not know. Drunken Demon. Brian, is this a friend of yours, man?
Oh yeah, I know that guy. Cool guy.
All right, that's what's up. Right, his question is, what are your thoughts on difficulty-based achievements / trophies? Should they exist or not? Yeah, these are interesting. I'm not going to say I dislike them because, let's just be honest, the most hated trophies of all are anything multiplayer related.
Yeah.
'Cause when those servers get shut down, that's it. You ain't getting no platinum, But yeah, shit, difficulty trophies exist or not.
I don't mind them, to be honest, but I do mind when they're not like that. Like if you beat hard mode, you can't get the other ones. Like you have to keep playing all the easier modes. Like
That's annoying. Yeah.
Once you completed hard mode, then you have to go back and play normal, easy, and very easy in order to get the stupid trophies for that. To be honest, you should just negate all of that shit as soon as you press that. As soon as you do that.
Yeah, so if you play on hard mode, all the normal and easy and very easy just pop automatically.
Yeah.
So-
That's the reason I didn't bother trying to get the platinum in the Prince of Persia remakes for PS3. You have to play through all the modes individually to get the trophies. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I went in there, I'm like, I played these games before. I put it on the hardest difficulty, right? And none of the others popped. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I have to play this game like 4 times, basically. It's bullshit. So yeah, those kind of difficulty trophies need to go. It's like, no, if you play on the hardest mode, all the easier trophies should just unlock automatically.
Yeah.
Most to be fair though, most games do that. But
Halo does it.
That's how it. They make you play through the.
No. If you beat, for example, if you can beat the game on legendary.
Yeah.
And you'll get all the achievements on the like easy and normal modes.
Yeah. No, that's the way it should be. C. Average says the first Last of Us. Yeah. Naughty Dog games always do that. I remember when I played Uncharted 3, I'm like, fuck this shit. I went straight to the hardest difficulty, and as soon as I beat it, everything popped,
Man, I'm 25% into this game, and I only have 2% of my freaking trophies. And screw this game.
This game is not as stingy with trophies as the original. As a matter of fact, if you play the game twice, you could probably get the platinum.
Wait, what?
For Last of Us 2, when I beat it, I had 46% of them, and I.
What?
Yeah, dude. It is not stingy.
Wait, so are you gonna try to get the platinum?
I'm not gonna play the game right away because it's still Last of Us. Actually, with this one, it's not really so much I was emotionally whatever. Because I'm immune to these stories already. I just don't want to play it because it's too long. But I will play it on PS5 because I want to see it shinier. That's when I'm gonna try to get the platinum because I'm like a second playthrough, I'll get that fucking platinum. As a matter of fact, if I were of the old Tony, I would have waited a little bit so some guys rock because you could theoretically get the platinum in one playthrough. You could theoretically, Actually, wait, hold on. Actually, no. I just thought about it. No, you can't because they don't give you enough materials for upgrades. But when you do New Game Plus, all your upgrades carry over, but you still find the same materials, right? The same amount of materials.
Oh,
Okay, so you do need 2 playthroughs. Okay, so you can't do it in one playthrough, but you need 2 playthroughs minimum, and you get the platinum.
question.
Yes.
You know, there's those cards in the map.
Yes.
You have to collect all of those. Is
All
that a trophy?
yeah, that's a trophy. Yeah,
God damn it!
yeah.
You have
I
to
don't.
collect all collect the Marvel Series 2 cards. You caught that design, Tony.
Oh yes, I did. Yes,
That
I
was
did.
Marvel
Marvel
Series
Series
right
2
there.
specifically. You know, yeah. Do that. Get to find all the safes. You got to find all the coins. You know, so be on the lookout for that. So none of us are really against these trophies. I'm guessing.
No,
No.
I want to
Well,
hear. I want to hear Brian's thoughts.
Brian.
Yeah, again, I'm not too fussed. I just threw it in there because people threw a big hissy fit that Last of Us 2 didn't have any difficulty-based trophies, and people were really upset about that. And now, just like, does it really matter that they don't have difficulty-based
Who
trophies? I
cares?
mean,
You know? Yeah.
if your EP is based on that, then wow, you have no life. I mean, at least play some other games that have difficulty-based trophies if that's the case. Like, if you want the hardest games, then go out there and play them. Like, I don't know. It just felt like really weird that people got really upset that there were no difficulty-based trophies. Again, I've played plenty of games that do, plenty of games that don't. Like the Modern Warfare games, they all have veteran mode, which is notorious for just being bullshit. You know, so, Dark Souls has no difficulty modes, and I don't know. It just felt really odd that people were upset that it wasn't there, and I just couldn't find out why or understand why they were so upset by it.
Who knows? Yeah, because but it is interesting because that's like the first Naughty Dog game I could think of that actually doesn't have a difficulty trophy. You know, just beat the game and you get it. You know, but nothing. Yeah, like you said, nothing to be fussed about.
Well, it's a good palate cleanser compared to the other titles because the other titles are stingy as hell with a freaking
Yeah,
trophy.
man. That is a fact. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I almost at 50%. This is crazy.
It's almost like I actually played this game.
You know?
The last one, the original one, it's like, damn, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get like 23%. Yeah.
Did I play this on very easy mode or what? What the hell?
Right.
I thought I played it on friggin' normal.
Oh man. All right. Next up we have Mr. Matt Wheaton. So a simple one. I guess this could also be construed as a sort of review. What were your favorite things about Horizon Zero Dawn? And he goes storytelling, world building, robot dinosaurs, discovering the world, etc. For me, you know, I'll break it down. Graphics, obviously, big one right there. The world was really cool. Yeah, when you find out what Zero Dawn was, you're like, fuck, this is crazy. You know? The robot dinosaurs, obviously, you know, those are some of the most epic fights I had in the game, man. Just going one-on-one with those fucking things. And then all the cool, like, traps you could use on them, like you snare them and shit with, like, ropes and stuff, breaking pieces of armor off. That's cool, you know. Yeah, I liked it a lot, man. Like I said, that was the first game I played this generation. I made go, oh, shit, this game's good. Like, really fucking good. Because every other game I played that I was anticipating always had something that was a disappointment. There was always something, you know, like Metal Gear Solid 5, right? Like, let's just be honest, the last half, the game was dope. It was still my game of the year, but the last half was like, could have been better. Final Fantasy 15, the last third of that, I was like, I don't know about this. You know, Batman had some stuff I was like, I don't know about this. But that game, Horizon, I'm like, from top to bottom, like, yeah, fucking awesome. No disappointing aspect whatsoever for me, you know? So yeah, that's what I liked about the game. Chris, what did you like about it?
I like the story, the atmosphere, the acting was really good. And my boy Broyles was in there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then when you find out what would actually happen to the world, it's like, oh my god. The fights were really good. The monster design, the exploration. So I did enjoy a lot of that, and the different environments. Like, of course, there's like
Yes.
a desert and a forest, and a winterland and all that stuff. Like, it had all the pieces. But when you as you as you progress and you find out more and more about like why is this world so fucked up the way it is? Like what the hell happened? And then you find out and you're like Jesus Christ, like that's some heavy shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man, and I also love the when you go into those like underground caves and shit. That's all
Oh
nothing
yeah,
but technology. It's like this is crazy right now.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man. All right, Mr. Carlos.
Yeah, a lot of what you guys mentioned. The game looks really pretty. It's pretty big and expansive. Um, the story is on point. The combat is on point. Fighting a Thunderjaw for the first time is crazy because that thing is so freaking big and so agile. You're like, God damn, how am I supposed to take this thing down? And it's crazy, man. It's just so well made. This whole the whole experience. Um, One of the craziest things like that freaked me the hell out was I was in the jungle portion of the map, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then this thing just fucking like I could hear this thing moving around.
That predator shit.
The fucking predator part. I'm like, yo, that shit scared the shit out of me, man. It was freaking cloak because it was this cloak thing moving around, and then suddenly just appears, and you're like, dirt.
Yes.
Almost freaking peed your pants, man. This shit's crazy. Yeah, man, that game is great. All those underground levels, also, it's like you discover them, and you're like, oh shit. There's little underground like thing here, and you can travel and unlock different things and discover the part of the story, and it's great, man.
Dude, and the fucking long necks when you gotta climb those motherfuckers.
Oh, the long necks. Yep.
Bruh, I'm ready to play this game right now, man.
Yo, man. Those long necks are pretty cool, and you get to see like you get to unlock their vision, I guess, of the map, which is pretty cool. That's like a cool way to do it. So yeah, I'm that's why I can't wait for Horizon Zero Dawn 2, whatever the hell they call that game.
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so you can swim on that game. Excuse me? That shit's gonna be crazy.
Brett's probably like, oh, you can do all this shit in Zelda now. What are you talking about?
And you can climb every wall. Yeah.
Funny you mentioned that because that game ruined Zelda for me, man.
Oh yeah, same here.
Like when because you played Horizon, I played Horizon Zero Dawn 2 first, and I went to Zelda. I'm like, oh man, what the fuck is this shit? It didn't look crisp,
Because what people don't understand, Horizon is one of the first games where you're like, oh, so this is why I bought my system.
That's right.
It's like it showcased what the console can do from a technical standpoint, and it looked amazing. And you're like, damn. And then you go to Breath of the Wild, which is a good game, but it's like, oh man, it just looks kind of like the grass is all like doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So it's like that's all you can think
Grass
about.
Gate,
Yeah. So,
Yo,
man,
by the way,
it
do
was
you
a
hear these
great game.
motherfuckers shooting off fireworks in my background?
No.
Okay,
Oh,
good. Good thing. They've been doing that shit every night for 2 weeks now. It's crazy.
It's crazy though.
Have you seen the ones? Have you seen the ones where people are shooting the friggin' things at each other?
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Oh, the Roman candle fights.
Usually, the fireworks start the week before 4th of July.
Oh, I
Now it's
heard
like
it.
the month. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I hear it now. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But it's like, yo, are those actually fireworks they're hearing out there?
Oh no!
Oh man! All right, who else played? Brett, you don't have anything good to say about Horizon Zero Dawn, do you?
My favorite part was trading it in.
Oh, dude.
I love the hate.
I thought you liked it, Brett. Like, I thought there was a point. No. Wait. Because
Yo,
initially
Brett's
Brett
been
said that
hating on
he-
it, man.
Yes, but then Brad first said that he did not like it, and then he tried it again, and I thought that he liked it after
No,
that.
I don't think he tried it
No,
again.
I continue to not like it.
He continued to like.
For Brett, anger turned to hate, and hate turned into
To
suffering.
the dark side, and then the dark side turned to GameStop.
Oh,
See,
shit.
and it
GameStop
made you
is the
turn.
dark side.
See, Brett, it made you turn to the dark side. You sold it right to GameStop.
It's true.
Brian, did you play Horizon Zero Dawn?
Nope, still in shrink wrap.
Ah,
I
you'll
Oh,
get to
play
it.
that.
You better get
So,
that platinum though, man.
I will let you know when I do. But so far, you guys are making it sound like it's Second Coming of Jesus, so I'm expecting good things.
I was
Second
gonna make it.
well,
Yeah, I'm not gonna go
Uh,
that far, but
You guys are making it
damn, you hear
sound
these
like that.
oh,
motherfuckers?
Brian. So
What's up?
I was gonna say this before you guys started talking about this. It's funny how we're praising this game. It wasn't even my game of the year. You never see it coming.
Oh, Persona. Excuse me. What was my
Yo,
game
man,
of the year? It wasn't that though. Persona almost was my game of the year that year.
Persona,
Yo, what else came out that year? Horizon didn't get my game of the year either.
Yakuza, Persona.
Nier
2017
Automata.
was a crazy fucking year, man.
Yeah, Nier came out.
Nier Automatas.
That was a crazy
I'm
ass
gonna
year.
look this shit up.
Super Mario Galaxy. Oh no, Super Mario
Odyssey. That was a good
Odyssey.
game too.
That was a fucking great game.
Breath of the Wild came out that year,
Yeah.
but okay, fair enough. Yeah, I have not played it yet, but these guys make it sound like it's like the game to be on end all, and
I don't know about
Brian,
that, but it's fucking good,
Brian.
man.
Also, you got to also take this into account. This was 2017. We were thirsty for fucking
Yeah.
next gen experiences back then. So now that
I'm just saying that when I first seen the game, I'm like, this is a pay by numbers game, so I'm not going to be I'm not anywhere excited by it. And when I seen like the tall necks and how that thing works, I'm like, oh cool, so it's a Ubisoft game. Lovely. That's what
By the way, I know
they incorporated
yeah,
the one
yeah.
thing I hate about all Ubisoft games, which is that the thing was like, hey, you stand here, you can see the whole map. Like, fuck off. That
no,
thing
you
needs
can't
to
see the
happen.
whole map, but you can see part of the map.
It's the
That's what I
same.
meant.
It's the same. It's the
You
same
can
basic
see that
concept.
part of the map, and it's like you need to fuck off. Just keep it like GTA, where you explore, you see the map. Makes sense. It's easy. It's simple. You know? So yeah, I seen that. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I will make my judgment. And the whole like Thunderjaw being like so big and being intimidated. Once you take down dragons and Dragon's Dogma, like you don't get scared of anything that big anymore.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. That's the Dragon's Dogma quote of the day.
It's a drop down. It's a drop. It's the
Dragon's Dogma, and plus in Dragon's Dogma you can actually climb them as well. So, hey,
But
You can
by the way, the director of Dragon's Dogma is doing some mysterious game for SquareSoft. We thought it was a Final Fantasy game.
Oh, that was the
Is
one
that
they
the
showed at the
project?
PS5.
Yeah,
With the girl.
Yeah.
Project Atheist.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yo, Chris, I know what your game of the year was for 2017.
Oh, Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7. That's right.
Oh, that was the same year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking great, man.
That was a
What year was that? 2018.
2017. 2018 was a good year too.
To be honest, though, fucking Resident Evil 7 is Chris's game of the year every year. I see him play him that all the time.
Hey man, you gotta
No,
get
I'm
that.
playing Resident Evil has been an annual game. It's like I just move on to the next one. Oh, RE2 got a remake. RE3 got a remake. Then RE8 next year. Shit. Like,
Also, Cuphead came out that year too.
In 2017.
Was that 2017?
2017. Senua's Sacrifice also came out 2017.
Sonic Mania. You already know that's the
Sonic
game.
Mania.
that was a good year.
Oh, that was Tony's game of the year.
Yeah, I think that may have been my game of the year. It's because
That
of
broke the
Sonic,
whole-
you know.
Yeah, that was his game of the year. I remember I was pissed.
Oh, Uncharted
And,
Lost Legacy came out that year too.
Uncharted
Oh.
Lost Legacy. I mean,
Damn, that
also
was a
Crash
good year. What happened? Bring that shit back.
The Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Oh, that one sold a lot.
That one went. Gravity Rush 2. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just looking at these games.
I
Cuphead,
give
look
it-
at that shit.
Yep.
I think was in my top 3. I think
Yeah,
it was
Cuphead was fucking good, man.
It was
Hey.
Cuphead, Persona, and Horizon. I think those were the 3.
Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen came out that year.
Or maybe not. Maybe Horizon wasn't even in my top 3, mate. Because I fucking love fucking Odyssey.
Oh, Assassin's Creed Origins came out that year too.
Also, wait. Shadow of War was the bad Shadow of Mordor game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It was.
The second one, microtransactions.
Oh, Neo came out that year. Oh no, for PC. For
Oh.
PC though, I think it came out earlier. All right, let's move on. Where the hell are we right now? Did I even have the question ready, bruh? Oh yes, I do. All right, next up, Mr. Fonzie. This is a very
yo.
interesting question.
Mr. Fonzarelli.
He goes, I've been hearing the FGC, the fighting game community, is worried about there only being one regular USB and one USB-C for controller inputs on the PS5. But is that really an issue? It could be, actually, because FGC, if you're
I'm
playing
willing to say
Evo,
no.
what do you say, Brian?
I'm willing to say no because you can get like USB-C to USB basic adapters.
Ah,
So
okay.
Or
you just
Brian,
plug
I'll
in.
do you one better. You can get a USB-C to USB-A hub with like 4 of them.
Yeah, like generally, like USB-C transfer speeds are magnitudes higher than like standard USB, well, at least USB 3.1s. So even if you do get like a hub, it should be fast enough to accept the inputs at a decent rate. So I don't think it's that much of a problem. I think people are just saying USB-C, I should be afraid. It's like, no, USB-C adapters exist. Like anyone that bought a MacBook in the last 5 years, they have to deal with that bullshit. It's like, hey, everything's USB-C now, and we're like, well, everything I own is USB. Like, the fuck do I do? Apple, $150 for adapter for one. It's like, fuck off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's too much of an issue. I think you should be that there will be adapters. I'm even sure that the fighting stick manufacturers are willing to bring out their own versions, if not with new versions with USB-C compatibility, just in case, or both if they need to do so. So I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah. The reason the people are worried about this is because obviously when you're in a fighting game tournament, you need wired controllers, So I'm pretty sure, Evo, whenever they come back, they're going to probably have some kind of rules in place about it when it comes to PS5. So, all right, take Brian's word for it. And the next question is actually the last question of the night, people. All right, this is from C. Iverson, who is also in the chat room right now. And
Yo.
yeah, that's my nephew, by the way. Shout out to him, man. All right, what are your thoughts on Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood? Are you excited? I'm pumped because I love werewolves. I've never heard of this game until this day.
It was actually shown. There was a trailer a while ago shown, and then they showed something recently.
I've heard of Werewolf the Apocalypse. I think that was like a board game or something. I could be wrong.
It was a pen and paper RPG.
That's what I say. Yeah, board game.
And then it was a card game.
Okay.
And then they had a game years ago that got canceled, but this is like the first. This is them like, hey, look, we're doing a new one.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm somewhat wary about this game because this game's coming out pretty soon. And they haven't shown the damn thing except for 2 trailers that look really nice, but they're CG. So. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't have anything to add. I didn't even know this game existed.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
It's supposed to be coming. It's supposed to be soon.
No. So I just watched the most recent trailer, which was June 10th.
Yeah.
It was one of the CG trailers, but it says more at NACON Connect, July 7th. So I guess we're gonna get more there.
I guess there's more. There's gonna be. I mean, I'm just. It's pretty trailers, but everybody can make pretty trailers. It's really about the gameplay. From what I hear, it's some sort of RPG, like along the lines of like, maybe you want to say The Witcher or something like that. So.
Yeah. All right. There you go. So yeah, we're done here, people. Good stuff. By the way, the stream never ended, so that's good.
Oh, it never ended?
No, like even though I stopped it on my end, like I'm looking at Twitch, it still says an hour 55 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
Oh, mine says 55 minutes.
Uh-oh.
So
mine says 1 hour 55, but I'm pretty sure I have to just edit it anyway.
Yeah,
and again, as always, when it comes to these technical difficulties, the MP3 guys, they're fine. They don't have to deal with anything.
They're like, what are you talking about, man?
Like, why did he put that sound effect in there? Because I always have that, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. That little soundbite from Freakazoid that Rachel gave to us. Good stuff. All right, man, so that's it. So thank you for watching and listening. Leave us your questions in the Throwdown Discord server. We'll answer them on next week's show. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco. Tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Chris Seeley,
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero,
Yo, you can watch Lucha Underground.
Brett
That's it.
Murdoch,
It's been real, party people.
and Brian Manjoma.
I was just like really confused as to why this sun was so big. It turns out that it's 10 solar radiuses. That's why it's so big.
Playing Elite Dangerous.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
man.
fucking big ass sun.
Like, why that sun gotta be so big though? That's what's going on in the streets right now. That's what's hot, literally. All right, man. We'll see y'all on Thursday, man. Peace out.
Later, guys.
This is
Deuces.
yes.